What started in a small dojo right here in Canyon, Texas, will now take her across the world to Malaysia, where she will compete in the 12th ever Wushu World Championships in just a couple weeks. For the 16th time in school history, the Canyon Lady Eagles are moving on to the state championship. Leading the way for the Lady Eagles was Angel Hayden, the freshman. Well, it's Midnight Madness here at West Texas A&M, and madness is the correct adjective when describing these two programs. On the men's side, 12 out of 14 new players. Now, while Dustin Vaughn may not have been suited up for the game, he was over here on this sideline for most of it, inactive for Sunday's contest. Speaking of baseball, the Booker Kiowas were trying to make school history and advance to their first ever baseball state championship game. It's 35-21. Lubbock Coronado leads the girls at half. The Lady Rebs cannot afford to lose this game. They're currently tied for third, but a loss would drop them into a potential tie for fourth, the last playoff spot in District 2-5A. For the first time since 1997, a national title has been brought home to the campus of West Texas A&M.
It's still indescribable. I mean, it's absolutely the greatest feeling I've had as a softball coach.
A similar sentiment shared by senior shortstop Alyssa Lemos.
It's indescribable. I still can't believe it, honestly. I mean, it's just something we've been working for all year, and I mean, it's a great feeling.
A feeling that might not have happened if it weren't for sophomore second baseman Brittany Gale, who in the top of the 7th inning with 2 outs collected her first hit of the entire tournament. A 3-run home run.
To see it leave the ballpark and know that we took a 3-run lead was just, I mean, all the emotion of probably the entire year came out at that point.
I'm on cloud 9. I mean, it hasn't clicked at me yet. I'm indescribable. Like, I don't even know what to say about it. It's just amazing.
After a brief scare in the 7th inning, tournament MVP Rita Hokianga nailed down the victory with a strikeout.
My team, we always talked about having each other's backs this year, and so I've always had my team's back, and they finally have my back for this time too.
This season, the Lady Buffs won 60 games, only the 4th team in NCAA history to accomplish that feat.
This is the best team in program history, and we're going to enjoy this. We're going to celebrate it, and then we'll start making plans for the next one.
This is Kimbrell Hearn. On the surface, he appears to be an able-bodied senior football player. You would never guess that just mere months ago, this young man was fighting for his life.
One day I felt dizziness and lightheaded, so me thinking I was dehydrated, I drank a lot of water.
But it wasn't dehydration. Kimbrell was suffering a stroke, eventually undergoing surgery to fix blood spreading in his brain. After another surgery and a few weeks had passed, Kimbrell would begin the recovery process.
I pretty much worked on balance, posture, standing, and walking on uneven surfaces, speaking, getting strength in my right side.
A process he says got better each day over time, later returning to the practice field to support his teammates every day. Now to this past Friday night when head coach Andy Carell asked Kimbrell to suit up for the team's last home game of the year.
Me thinking it was just for moral support, I agreed to do it, and yes, it was amazing.
But little did Kimbrell know what was to come. With just 1 minute left on the clock, Coach Carell called timeout.
Walked over the sideline to the boys, and I called Kimbrell over to me and said, boys, we're going to get Kimbrell a play.
Fortunately, we were in a position to be part of a young man getting to do something that he had dreamed about all year.
Kimbrell entered the game at running back.
Not only did I get to suit up, but I actually got to play in the game, my last senior game, and run a touchdown. The first thing I did after I ran to the end zone was I had to thank God because he was the one who brought me to where I am now.
From relearning to walk again to scoring a touchdown in his final football game of his career, Kimbrell still has quite the journey ahead of him.
I'm still working on balance, such as walking, and then when I get tired, walking and maintaining balance. And speech therapy, I'm working on getting my left side back to where it needs to be because I had this stroke.
Kimbrell hopes to complete rehab in the next 4 to 6 months, just in time for graduation. Matt Hamilton.
Every day, really, there's something new that I can do, and it's amazing.
News Channel 10 Sports.
Sports with Matt Hamilton.
Since midway through the first quarter of their first game against Colorado State Pueblo, the West Texas A&M football team's offense has just seemed to click. And that started with the injury to starting quarterback Preston Rapp. Ever since sophomore backup Ethan Brinkley has stepped in, the old high-flying Buffaloes offense we used to know has seemingly re-emerged. This past Saturday in the conference opener, the lefty turned in another great performance, tossing 3 more touchdowns to just 0 interceptions on their way to a 52-38 victory.
Ethan's playing great and doing a lot of good things right now.
One thing Brinkley did in that game was take care of the football, and he's going to have to protect it again this weekend at home against 6th-ranked Angelo State. The Rams come to town with a perfect 3-0 record, a very good football team with a very good quarterback. So the defense for the Buffs can have their work cut out for them as well. 2-1 this year, that lone loss coming in the season opener. They're going to try and rectify that with a 1-0 start to conference play. Saturday at 5 o'clock down at Kimbrough Memorial Stadium is where it happens and when it happens, so be sure and get down there if you can't. Of course, we'll have you covered with highlights right here on News Channel 10.
Oh, he missed it! Unbelievable! Unbelievable!
College football didn't even have to move the extra point back. This time, it was the pressure of the situation that got to Longhorn kicker Nick Rose, costing them a potential chance at overtime and dropping Texas to 1-2. But with 24th-ranked Oklahoma State coming to Austin on Saturday, head coach Charlie Strong is urging his team to put the devastation of that loss in the rear view and focus on starting conference play with a win.
It's a tough loss the other night, but the thing about it, if you watch how our team just fought back.
The injuries continue to pile up for the Dallas Cowboys. Quarterback Tony Romo joining wide receiver Dez Bryant and defensive end Randy Gregory on the shelf. All eyes turning now to back up Brandon Whedon, who will need to step up, and not only as the quarterback, but as a leader as well. In the small sample we got against Philadelphia, the 4th-year pro managed the game, going 7 for 7 in pass attempts and throwing a late touchdown to Terrence Williams to seal it. But it's hard to forget the last time Brandon was a full-time starter with the Cleveland Browns. It wasn't exactly a success. In 2 years, 15 starts in one, 8 in the other, 23 total. He went 438 of 784, threw for just over 5,000 yards, 23 touchdowns to 26 interceptions. Not exactly what you want from your quarterback, especially a guy that you spent a first-round draft pick on. But a change of scenery may be what Brandon Whedon needs. Last year, in his one start, he played effectively but couldn't get the win against an RG3-less Washington Redskins. But this is a new year. He played well against the Eagles on Sunday and certainly can give the Cowboys a chance to win a football game. But if he can't, well, the Cowboys made a move today that may help them if Whedon drops the ball, so to say. Matt Castle, now a Dallas Cowboy, after a trade. He comes over with a 7th-round pick from the Buffalo Bills in exchange for a 2017 Cowboys 5th-round pick.
All right, thank you.